I think you're giving Manchester United
Too much credit?
Bit too much credit. I don't think.
And Man City is doing what Man City does.
Yeah.
So could Arsenal be tight contenders?
But Alan said Maxima, bro.
Terrorize that Man City defense.
I've always been a fan of this player. Just to come up with.
For the Manchester United fans, bro, obviously it pains me to say this, but I think they should be excited a little bit. I feel like they will see a turning form.
Wagwan sports fans, welcome back to another episode. I am your host with the most, of course, Jomar.
I am Rush.
And this is This or That Sports TV, the place you guys come to get the best, most interesting and riveting sports topics, discussions and debates on the internet.
Yes, my people, but before we get into today's video, don't forget to like this video, leave a comment, tell us where to talk the real things and the facts, of course, and subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed, bro. But today, we're going to discuss the week 3 of the English Premier League. It was a good week of football, not as good as week 2, but still a good week of football. You see me? So we're going to break down some of the fixtures, talk about some surprise results, talk about some standouts, and probably some underwhelming performances. So you ready for it?
Bro, from me to the glasses, you know, some of them are professor vibes.
It was scrutinized.
You know, the badness come down, so you see me?
Yeah.
I'm ready for that one.
Alright, so the first game of the weekend, Tottenham versus Wolves. We didn't catch much of that one, but we saw it for what it is. And one thing I must say, bro, Tottenham is going under the radar and picking up some good results.
Yeah.
They're slowly, not any standout performances, but they're building up these points.
I mean, to be honest, Tottenham is doing everything I thought they would have done to this point, except for that point that they managed to scavenge, or they managed to get from Chelsea. Besides that, I thought they would be doing everything that they have done to this point. So they haven't surprised me. You know, a 1-0 win versus Wolves. I mean, you know, that's not very overwhelming. That's not something that that's not necessarily what you'd expect. You know, you'd expect Tottenham to provide a more definite performance, like a better and more outstanding performance. So Tottenham is doing exactly what I thought Tottenham would be doing, to be fair. 4-1 versus Southampton, a draw versus Chelsea, and a 1-0 win against Wolves.
And Wolves, one of the teams you would expect, you at least expected Wolves to be performing better than they are. 1 point from 3 games, that's not good at all.
I definitely expected Wolves to be better. But there's still time. You know, they added a few new players, so there's still time for cohesion to rebuild and for them to gel and to play better football. Really disappointing thus far.
Alright, one of the fixtures of the week, I think. Crystal Palace versus Aston Villa, that was a really good match. Zaha and Hudson and Vieira got those boys playing some good football, bro, against Steven Gerrard's men.
Yeah, and boy, Crystal Palace might be that upset team that neither of us mentioned. I spoke about Wolves, you know, we both like Newcastle, but Crystal Palace might have been that team with the way how those guys are playing on the counter-attack. Like, they're doing it so deliberately. You know, you remember how Real Madrid went a year, Chelsea went years by just playing completely on the counter, defending and just getting out really fast and scoring goals. Crystal Palace is doing exactly that. And Zaha is making his stamp on the Premier League, bro. What do you have to say about this season?
Man, this guy, bro, is different grave. And I remember a couple years ago when, you know, Arsenal, you know, our team was in for Wilfred Zaha. And you know, some people, it was like, a lot of people wasn't convinced, bro. And I was always wondering why this guy is proven, this guy is going. Imagine Zaha in a Arsenal right now.
Very consistent.
You know, and I don't understand what more people want to see from Wilfred Zaha. This is a star. This is one of the stars of the Premier League. Definitely, for sure. When you talk about a player that is better than the team that he's at.
Definitely.
You know, Zaha is definitely a top 16 player.
For sure.
You see me? So I like Wilfred Zaha as a player, bro. And let's go on to the other side though. Aston Villa.
Villa. What's going on at Villa Park? Once again, the game wasn't at Villa Park, people, but you get the reference that I'm trying to make. What's going on with Steven G's men?
Bro, you think Gerrard is up for the sack this season? Or you think, will you make that prediction? Will you say that Gerrard will be sacked this season?
Yeah, Gerrard will be sacked this season. I think both Gerrard and Frank Lampard will be sacked this season.
Wow. I wouldn't be surprised. I don't know if I want to go as far as to predict it, but I can see what you're saying.
It's a strong prediction. It's not a prediction that I predict wholeheartedly.
Yeah.
It's a prediction that I'm like...
But you're not afraid to make?
I I would say it, but I wouldn't gamble my life.
I understand.
I wouldn't be surprised if they kept him and continued trying to make it work. But then again, I definitely would not be surprised if he got the sack. If Aston Villa continues playing the way they're playing.
Yeah, understood. Everton versus Nottingham Forest, 1-1. We're not going to spend too much time on this game, but still.
Just about right. That's what
That's what we expect.
You know, that's a fixture that went as it should. You know, most people would have expected Everton to come out on top against this newly promoted Nottingham Forest team, but these newly promoted teams, bro, they are fighting, man. They all seem like they want to stay in the Premier League. I don't think all three of them will, but all three of them are making a case.
For sure. I'm playing some good football. Nottingham Forest with 4 points from 3 games.
Yeah.
You can't ask for a better start than that as a promoted team. Obviously, this is not how the season will go.
Yeah.
It will balance itself out. But a very, very good start from Nottingham Forest. I'm pretty sure their fans are excited.
That promoted team segue makes it segue right into this one.
Yeah.
Fulham versus Brentford.
Wow, what a game.
What a
You were watching 2 games at one time, bro. I couldn't keep our eyes on either game because it was so entertaining. This one.
I was keen on the Fulham game.
Yeah, you were more watching the Fulham game and I was watching the Crystal Palace game.
Yeah.
But bro, this game and Mitrovic, what a player. You know, coming up when they really needed him the most. He missed a lot of chances in the game, but when they needed him, he stepped up.
The thing is, he missed a lot of chances, but the fact that he's getting these chances with this Fulham team is exactly what I predicted at the beginning of the season. This is exactly what I expected from them, and we're getting exactly what I thought we'd get from Fulham. Fulham means business, bro. And Mitrovic is a very good, solid Premier League player.
And you see 15 goals in Mitrovic's future this season?
At least.
At least?
At least.
At least?
At least.
Oh, you're making some big claims today, bro.
So he's 3 from 3.
Bro, I wouldn't be surprised.
I
asked for 12. I asked for 12 this season. Personally, in our first video, I said 12 would be a good season, bro. But 15, I think he could get it.
Mitrovic is going to get in position to score goals and he's going to score goals. Whether Fulham wins or loses, Mitrovic is going to score goals. I genuinely believe that.
I hear that. Leicester versus Southampton. Leicester's going off to a poor start against Southampton, which is one of the poorest teams in the league.
Yeah.
I don't understand how Leicester is losing to Southampton.
Well, as I said, there are various factors that could contribute to Leicester not playing very well. You know, they just aren't cohesive. You know, defensively they keep making silly mistakes and teams keep capitalizing.
They lost their leader.
Yeah, I'm not sure. That's one of their best players in the defensive sector of the field. So I'm not sure what's going on in Leicester's camp, and it needs to be sorted out.
All right. And Bournemouth versus Arsenal finished 3 goals to Arsenal. And Bournemouth didn't manage to get on the score sheet. What are your thoughts on this game? Obviously, we always spend a bit of time on the Arsenal fixture.
Yeah, and this match was a match that we'd have watched from the beginning to the end. We spoke about the promoted teams, and Bournemouth is a promoted team that, you know, has not done as well as the other 2.
But they had a rough start, bro.
Yeah.
They didn't get as good a start as the rest.
They played City and Arsenal, and let me see, in the first week, who did Bournemouth play in the first week? 1 second, people, Villa, and they upset Villa in the first week. So, you know, that's fine.
Yeah, I think they would have predicted that.
Conceding 7 goals to the top 2 teams in the league, that's fine. You know, but Arsenal, the meat of the matter, bro, they look outstanding. They control the game. They did anything they wanted to do. You know, and we still missed chance.
And one thing I want to ask, bro, and obviously you made this prediction, I didn't. But I want to have that conversation. You know, could Arsenal be title contender this season? It could be a season where one of the top 2 is falling off.
It is a season where one of the top 2 is falling off.
We're going to get there. So one of the top 2 is falling off. Chelsea, we're not sure where Chelsea is right now. We're going to get to the Chelsea fixture. Tottenham is slowly getting there, but Arsenal seems to be that team that you would say is flying right now. And Man City is doing what Man City does.
Yeah.
So could Arsenal be title contenders?
I said it, and I will continue to say it. I think if Tottenham plays to the best that Tottenham can play, they won't be title contenders. If Chelsea plays to the best they can play, they won't be title contenders. But if Arsenal plays to the best of our ability, and if the players that I see have the potential, alright, let me make it clearer. Chelsea's players are where they are. We talk about the Sterling, we talk about the Koulibaly, we talk about Mendy, we talk about Jorginho. That's like, you know, throughout the line of their team. Those guys are where they are. Yeah. They are at their peak, we'd say. You know, some of them even on their downfall. Same thing with Tottenham, with Kane and Son and Bissouma, so on, Lloris. These guys aren't growing.
Yeah.
These guys aren't getting better. These guys are where they are. They're maxed out at this point. Do you see who our best players are?
Bro, I don't think we even know where Arsenal's ceiling is right now. So it's so hard to predict what we're going to do this season.
That's the point that I'm trying to make. And I do believe that we have players who have the ability to pop to the peak of or prime of their powers this season. Gabriel, the defender, Odegaard, Ramsdale. Those guys are coming into ages where this is right now. Gabriel Jesus, we haven't seen the best of him yet. I think we're going to see the best of him. Zink, we're going to see the best of him. And Saka, you could maybe say give him a few years to get the best of him. But Saka, even though he hasn't reached where he is going to reach, he's still one of the best in the Premier League.
Yeah.
So because of this, I think if Arsenal plays to the best that Arsenal can play, we will beat the Contenders. And that's different than Tottenham. If Tottenham plays to the best that they can play, they will be in third place.
Yeah. I hear you. I hear you. And I like that prediction. It's something I really thought hard about today. I was thinking, I'm saying, bro, are we undershooting Arsenal just because we don't know what to expect? No, that could go in either direction. It could be that we don't know where our ceiling is and it's right here, or it could be right here. We don't know.
I think it's an impossibility that our ceiling is right there.
Yeah.
But what could happen is what happened last season.
Inconsistency.
And the experience leading to inconsistency. That might be a factor. That's the only thing I worry about.
Yeah.
But if me is thinking Odegaard is going to peak anytime soon, or if this is Odegaard's peak, well, what he's been doing, this might be his peak, but this is PFA Player of the Year.
Yeah, this is a ratted level.
If I'm thinking Odegaard last season is where Odegaard is going to be, or this is what Saka is what Saka is going to be, or what Martinelli is what, that's not the case. Those guys are going to be world-class players. I am 100% certain. Ramsdale, Gabriel, so on and so forth. So I know that the ceiling's not right here. The ceiling's up here. But at the end of the day, these guys are still young. So I worry that inexperience might lead to inconsistency. But besides that,
and you would predict a more consistent season than last year. You would safely predict that. Yeah. I like that prediction. Let's move on. Obviously, people, you know we're gonna talk about Arsenal for 5 minutes. So just say it go. Leeds versus Chelsea, upsetting Chelsea 3-0, dude. Yeah, what is going on at Stamford Bridge?
But first and foremost, what is going on at Leeds?
What is going on at Leeds?
Like, Leeds are playing very well, and I can't say it enough. After losing the players that they lost, their two best players, how are they still managing to compete? And not only compete, but do very well at the same time? Yeah. And they found a gem. Yeah,
and what Rodrigo walking right into that Rafinha role, and he might be doing it better than Rafinha. Yeah, Rafinha was their star player. Yes, he was their game winner. But in the manner that this guy is doing it in, bro.
And obviously not a like for like.
No, not a like for like. No, but I mean the presence and the impact.
It's the same. I was going to say the same with Harrison and Calvin Phillips. Not a like for like, but a star presence in the midfield that is providing creativity and providing forward movement for that Leeds team. We see that with Harrison as well, bro. So left Leeds, they look good, but Chelsea,
awful. And they need to get it together.
Is this what you were expecting?
I was expecting Manchester United and Chelsea to struggle. Bro, I really do expect Chelsea to fall out of the top 4. I'm not even joking, I just having an Arsenal bias towards. I just think they don't know what they are as yet. They're still trying to figure it out. And entering into a season, you need to know what you are. We need to know your best.
But my thinking, the reason why I think they will be in the top 4 is because I think quality-wise they're just better than Tottenham.
Yeah, bro.
I think so. Like for like and player for player, I think they're better than Tottenham. Yeah. And I think if their coach can get it figured out with some of the players having the ability to play really good football, I think they'll manage to get that forward. And
again, I think Chelsea is 1 or 2 players away from being the team that they can be. But right now, I don't quite see them as that second place spot. All right, let's talk about Brighton, West Ham. West Ham off to an awful start again. A couple teams here not quite living up to what they're supposed to be living up to. But Brighton off to a good one.
Is it the expectations?
I don't know. They just can't seem to make that jump.
Is it expectations? Because, as I said, people are expecting a lot from Wolves this season. People are definitely expecting a lot from West Ham this season.
Bro, finishing 7th last year. This is the season where you sign Skamaka, you sign a few players, and you're supposed to be breaking the 6th up now.
Same with Villa. People are expecting a lot from these teams based on the moves that they made to the end of last season and last summer. People are saying, all right, 1 year removed, doing so well in last season because Villa made a late season push, like a really strong push, and people are like, okay, Villa are going to mean business this year. Same thing with West Ham based on a remarkable season in my opinion. What is going on? Is it expectations that are getting to their head? Too much pressure?
It could be. It could be. I just could be not being prepared for the season. I would see where some of the teams that are struggling right now just didn't have a great preseason, and the ones that are doing well are teams that really had a good preseason. That obviously is not That's not a great indication of how well you're doing the season, pre-season that is. But bro, you can take some things from it. Sure. And West Ham, you'd want to say it's pressure. You'd probably say their coach is just not a top 6 coach, just not being able to break into that level. Maybe 7 is just the ceiling for David Moyes. But
bro, this
get a better coach, and I think West Ham would be breaking into that top 6 because they have the quality, bro. What is stopping them? I don't see what's stopping West Ham from going into defense.
In fact, I thought they would have lost some players this transfer window, so they definitely have the quality.
All right. Newcastle versus Man City. What a game! What a game!
The game of the weekend.
I feel like the last game is the game of the weekend.
I disagree. I think, in my opinion,
you feel like Man City, Newcastle.
Yeah, this was the game of the weekend, man, because we saw good football played in the first half from Newcastle, and then we saw great football played in the second half by Manchester City. But Alan said Maxima, bro,
terrorized that Man City defense.
I've always been a fan of this player, just thinking he didn't have that certain je ne sais quoi, since we're talking about a Frenchman. He didn't have that certain thing to push him to the top of an elite level, because he definitely just as, if not more skilled than a lot of these players playing in his position in the higher echelon of the football league. But there's just something that he's missing. You know, the final touch. He's a bit raw.
Yeah, he's not as clean because Arca is composed.
But he looked very polished in that Manchester City game. And if he can manage to play that type of role, and that's the exact role that we want Liam Bailey to play. That's how we know Liam Bailey can play and want him to play. If he looks the way he looked against Manchester City consistently, bro, he will be in a top 5 club.
Yeah, I hear you. But I'm actually not surprised at the way Newcastle is playing. Maybe St. Maxim a little bit. But the way this team is, I know that they're a good team. I know that their coach is just a really, really good coach and underrated. So obviously I wouldn't predict a 3-3 against Man City.
Yeah, because the thing is,
I'm not surprised.
I just think Man City came out the block sleeping. Because especially in the first couple of minutes, Newcastle absolutely owned the midfield. And with Rodri and Kevin De Bruyne, Silva, there is no way any team should ever own a Manchester City midfield. So it was clear that there was something, I'm not sure what was going on, it was clear that there something wasn't right. Maybe they just underestimated the team, and maybe they just had a bad bus ride to the game.
I know the truth is, bro, a lot of people say that Man City probably deserve to win this game just based on the quality of chances that they created in the latter part of the game. You know, Haaland missing chance, and so many other players just not making the right pass or Foden waiting to just square the ball and try to shoot. You know what? They got the better chances in the game. But I feel like this is a good result for Newcastle, and they deserve the result.
Of course, and
those two things can be true.
Exactly, and they came out and they executed exactly what they wanted to execute, and exactly what they wanted to execute, and it was clear. That it was clear that they got success and they got the result that they deserve. And I think because Manchester City started so lackluster, so lackadaisical and so slowly, they also got the result that they deserve. Yeah,
I hear you. The last game, and I think the game of the weekend, I didn't enjoy this result at all. Not at all. It's the worst game of the season so far. Manchester United 2, Liverpool 1. Liverpool was stunned at Old Trafford, bro. I feel like Manchester United just came out and they just knew what they wanted to do. Them say, yo, we now try to play this ball out. You realize there was no pressure on David De Gea during the game or on their centre backs.
Yeah.
I don't know if Liverpool was sitting off or Man U was just pushing them back. But even in the game, the commentators said we're so used to seeing Van Dijk and Matip on the halfway line. But they were so deep in their half. And the pace just killed them.
I think you said Man U knew exactly what they wanted to do. I think the opposite is true. Liverpool had no idea what they were trying to do. And I think a lack of quality really affected them. You know, they missed Matip. You know, for some reason Van Dijk doesn't play as well without Matip beside him. Because I'm not going to say Gomez had a bad game, because I don't think he did. But I think Matip's presence helps Van Dijk, if only psychologically.
Bro,
they started Milner in the midfield, and Milner was absolutely abysmal.
Wow,
he was so bad. He was perpetually bad, like for the whole
game. I'm surprised he lasted.
I don't think he did a single thing correctly. So it's not a matter of Manchester City. My bad. It's not a matter of Manchester United coming out and knowing what they wanted to. I just think Liverpool did not come to play any type of football at all. And we saw when when they brought Fabinho on and they kind of reorganized at the end of the game.
They got a push.
It was all Liverpool. It was all Liverpool. It was all Liverpool. It was all Liverpool. Ronaldo came on for a bit and was a headless chicken running up top by himself because it was complete Liverpool, and that's exactly what we were expecting from the game. So I just think this one has to be on Klopp, and it has to be on the players just not coming out with the intensity and fire that we expected a Liverpool team to come out with.
For the Manchester United fans, bro, obviously it pains me to say this, but I think they should be excited a little bit. I feel like they will see a turn in form. They started poorly, and you know you're supposed to expect these. It could go one or two ways. You're never going to see a new manager come in and it's average. You're either going to get a new manager bounce or you're going to be awful. Or after do you see teams just come in and they're just like this, average throughout. So I feel like they went through their bad spell, and unfortunately I feel like Ten Hag is that good of a coach that he's just going to manage to get some results going, and I'm afraid of it.
Bro, you are way more optimistic about Manchester United chances than I am.
I still don't see them that forward.
I just think this is an indictment on Liverpool, and that's it. I don't think Man U were super good.
No, but I just saw them. I saw Rashford. I feel like they just say, "Here, whenever play the ball in space, Rashford and Elanga kill them."
Rashford had a good game, right? Elanga gave Alexander-Arnold some issues, but I still didn't necessarily see what Manchester United were trying to do.
Bro, they weren't trying to play football. Well, I won't say that, but Manchester United wasn't trying to keep the ball like they were in the last two games. If you realize they were just trying to get the ball on the wings, trying to kill them with pace, get early balls in and get a shot off and goal. That's what they were trying to do. You never really see much possession in the midfield. You know, anytime they won the ball in the midfield, they were not trying to keep it. It was just up to the forwards, try to kill them with pace. That's all they were trying to do. And obviously it's not necessarily pleasing to the eye. You know, we love to see the Man City and the Liverpool trying to keep the ball and killing people.
I didn't necessarily
counter-attacking.
I didn't necessarily make that observation. Obviously I saw them getting the ball forward, but I don't think it was as organized as you're making it out to be. I think you're giving Manchester United a
much credit?
Bit too much credit. I don't think, as I said, this poor performance is an indictment on Liverpool, because as soon as Klopp tightened it up, Manchester United had nothing else.
Alright. We that, bro. Yeah, good look reason about the Premier League. Obviously, people, you know, we're going to talk about it. And we could go on and on and on because we really love the Premier League. We love our football.
Yeah.
But, bro, we're not going to draw it out too long. Get the match, I could leave them real quick now.
But as I said, bro, you see me come with the top analysis. We bring the glasses and come for analyze.
I feel like this is a good look of football, really.
Yeah, bro. But
it worked.
People, if each one of you guys can share this video to 5 people, can get us 5 subscribers. Do you know how many subscribers that will get us by the end of the day?
Well, but for now, my people, this was That Sports TV.
And we're out.
Yeah.